Hi everybody, welcome back to GearGossip. Today I have another device here for you for direct recording of electric guitar signals. To be more precise, it's the PGA-04 by Palmer, Germany. Those of you who follow my channel for quite a while might have noticed that I'm playing the older one, Palmer PDI-03. After doing a video about this thing, somebody harassed me with no end about the successor, this one here, the PGA-04. I told him I'm the wrong person to talk to, so he harassed Palmer Germany with no end with his emails to finally send me one of these boxes to do a review. Actually, they did. Hooray! What do they have in common? Both devices are meant to replace a speaker and the microphone placement, and all these nasty combinations boiled down to one device. Both devices are completely passive, so they run on amp power, no power cord needed. Both handle about 100 watts. They also work as a load box, so you don't have to use a cap at all. So anything that comes into this box gets converted into heat. But you can use a cap if you want to. That's why we have an input on the backside and a through. When something is connected to through, I hope it's a cap, you can hear your cap, and if it's not connected, you won't hear a thing. There is no attenuation. You cannot turn down your amp by 50%. It's just 100% or none. And both amps have these separation between filtered out, this is guitar speaker-like, and unfiltered out, this is flat frequency response straight from your power amp, distorted or not. This is where differences start. Both have a filter volume here. The PDI-03 has a dedicated out for this filter and 4 dedicated outs, called line out, for the unfiltered out, while the PGA-04 has filter and full range out for the same output. Both have some sort of EQing for bass and treble. The PDI has just switches and the other one has dials. Then we have this brown light switch that you will hear later, and the full range, of course, with a high cut. Well, off means the full signal with no cutoff at all, and pretty nasty and pretty awful because you don't want to hear the full range of a distorted electric guitar. When we're talking clean, things are a little bit different. If you want to record the full output of your power amp and do some sort of processing on your PC later, off, only this one. But you might want to mix in some of these frequencies, but not too much. So dial in high cut, 6 kilohertz, and turn it up. That's the rundown. So here we are, plugged in and seated. This is a Laboga Cayman 50 watts tube amplifier that I'm gonna use for this video because I don't want to be biased. So I don't want to use my old trusty Subway Blues. And I need some sort of high gain, raspy, nasty thingy here, and this is raspy, nasty thingy. But for now we are on clean, and clean means clean. This one is actually dimed. And what you're hearing is the PDI-03 flat. Bridge single coil. The bright switch. You always have to compensate for volume. Gas! Neck. Nasty, isn't it? If you want something in between, you're lost. It's a switch. Or mellow. Again, compensate. Ooh. or deep. Compensate. Or normal and flat. Little bass, little treble, mid-rangey. Compensate. Or the opposite. And now for the PGA-04. Light, color, and everything pretty much flat. I sense more, and I hear more low end, more thumping. Let's see what we can do here. High. Compensate. Well, high is nowhere near as piercing as high on the PDI-03. And muffling is also pretty effective. And low. There's quite much more. So low is much more effective than low on the PDI-03, and high can turn down much more than the PDI-03. It's warmer and has more mid-range to my ears. Brown setting gives you more of a mid-range hump. Comparison. And now for this non-filtered out. Wok. All this voicing stuff doesn't apply here. And the awful stuff up there is distortion. But as long as you don't have any distortion, pretty usable to my ears at least. High cut. You can mix that back in. Light. Alone. If you want to emulate the PDI-03, to my ears, yours might work different. Just dial in some of this full range. And you're in PDI-03 country, which is of course easier with 2 dials than with plugin and mixing. But the fun part starts when we're talking distortion. Okay, nasty one on the PDI-03. You want to hear the bright switch? No, you don't. Mellow. Oops. Ha. Secret to these devices: the more distortion you have, the more effective the switches and dials get. while in clean, you're in more, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. In overdrive, you have the impression there's a completely different cap or different amp involved. Deep switch, normal. This is all you can do with this thing. No tweaking whatsoever. You just have switches. Well, now for the PGA-04. Lights and everything set to middle. More oomph to it, more mid-range. More focus if you want to. Deep. So anyone in the heavy metal business with it should be better off with the PGA-04. Bright. Dialed in some fat and dialed in some same amp. No change in amp settings. Back to flat and the brown. Depends on what you want. Full range. Yeah, this is what a distorted tube actually sounds like. Isn't that great? High cut. I've heard worse. And here is your rhythm sound. So much for me noodling around on two devices. Actually, the whole video is not about showcasing my playing skills. It's about, do you like the sound or don't you like? If you like, check one of these two out. The differences in sound, basic sound, are nuances. But they differ quite a lot when it comes to tweakability and application. For tweakability and heavy distorted sound, PGA-04 is the way to go for me. But there's a reason why I'm using the PDI-03, because, well, I'm using this for 6 years now, and it never let me down, and it sounds pretty decent with my own amp, with my treble booster and my guitar. So why should I want to change? There's no need for tweakability here. I do like it that way. But the PDI-03 is also a little bit better to my taste when it comes to applications. So you can hook up your amp and your cab. So you have this. You have front of the house filtered out, and you have simultaneously 4 unfiltered out for additional power amps, additional recording tracks. So you have all these things separated at the same time. This is what I prefer. If you don't prefer it that way and prefer tweakability and the heavy rock sounds, go for the PGA-04. Thank you to the user that kept harassing Palmer Germany. Thank you to Palmer Germany that you actually sent me this one. And thank you to BTM for lending me the Laboga amp here. Maybe somebody likes this amp. I do actually, a little bit. See you.